In 1997, an elite logistics engineer was given a job on the docks that he did not particularly want. He was promptly promoted from running forklifts in the warehouse to overseeing the entire operation. Today, still working his crummy job, he survives by getting unusual items past the authorities. If you have a shipment, if no one else can help, and if he's not on a break, maybe you can hire for your imports.
Hello, you've reached failure imports. Please, leave a message after the tone.
I was hoping that you could help me keep a few items safe for me. I have a container coming in the next few days with some Japanese rubber sex tentacles. I'd rather it didn't go through customs. Would you be able to do that? Yes, sex tentacles. I can give you payment when the item is delivered. They are quite large. They're designed to be inserted into about 2 foot long. There'll be quite a few of them as well. I have several clients. Probably about 2,000. Thank you. Goodbye.
I know, it starts to feel a little bit like deja vu, doesn't it? We have seen this loader being used before, and this will not be the last time we see the loader being used. Of course, the big thing here is now there are 2 trucks in the parking lot, both of which coming in from the same delivery. This is pretty thrilling stuff. The main challenge you've got is to actually earn enough money to be able to upgrade. So the second truck stop here was as part of the ability to expand over time, and that's why we're making this money in the first place, is to be able to expand. Eventually we'll get to the point where we can expand into owning the warehouse and owning the land-based gantry crane, and hopefully unlocking the docks. Now in the jobs menu I've already seen docks come up as an option, except of course it's not an option if you can't unlock the thing yet. It's still actually quite satisfying to get the cargo into the right place, but it does get very repetitive, and you start to run into more kind of annoyances, such as being rammed in the side by a truck. The trucks don't give 2 hoots about where you are, and the wheels on that truck do not go round and round. Still a mystery to me, that one. Anyway, as you can see, we're unloading to the same place as usual, the in plain sight storage spot, which I think is the ideal location for some Japanese sex tentacles. 2 containers thereof. But because you're now taking more cargo in as you try and get more money, as you take on more and more thrilling jobs, you end up having to move stuff around from here to an area called the transshipment yard, which we've driven through on a couple of occasions. And the transshipment yard is basically just a big storage area. You also get more jobs where you have to pick them up from the train or from a truck and then drop it onto the other mode of transport. All deeply thrilling stuff. The one thing actually that becomes increasingly annoying, I mean, you'll probably see here that you've got these little corner posts going on at the truck stop, which of course if you're playing in first person rather than having the camera outside, you can't see them. Now, I'm quite happy to play with an external view in order to make a little bit more progress, but frankly, I'd rather do this in a semi-realistic fashion. It's never going to be wholly realistic, but a semi-realistic fashion, which means you don't get to have an external spy cam telling you where and where you're not going wrong. So once again, just dumping this thing off in the right place, and then everybody's happy. It's not the most thrilling experience you're ever going to come across. Well, and once again, we're snagged on something. Nope, can't see what it is. It's one of those little yellow and black posts on the floor there, which with the rear-wheel drive, rear-wheel steer, means that you're snagged with no real explanation. Terrific. And the temptation, of course, when you're dropping stuff off, especially after the frustration of being hooked up on something that you couldn't see, is just to ram the container as hard as you can and basically blame it for all the ills in the world. Take it from me, this is not a practical thing to do because the game won't actually let you progress until such a time as you put the container back where it's supposed to be. There we go. Let's get this one in and move on. In we go. Just a little bit more. Just not quite so much. Yeah, there we go. Down a little bit. Release. And marvellous. You'll see in the top right there that we're parked in an urban clearaway zone, which is that red circle with the blue interior. It basically means you can't park your truck here, your loader, because it's going to get in the way of AI trucks. Not that they give a damn anyway. They'll quite happily push you out of the way anytime they please. So you have to find somewhere good to park.
Hey, is this Failure Imports?
Failure's the name, imports the game. How may I be of assistance?
Hey, I gotta keep this on the down low. So, are you good at keeping quiet?
Discretion is my co-pilot, sir.
Okay, that's not answering my question. Can you keep it quiet?
Yes.
Thank you. So, is this the firm? Are you the guy that can help me stop the cops looking up something I got coming your way?
Depending on what it is, absolutely.
Okay, so listen here. I have some bladders, right? But they're not regular bladders. They're sheep's bladders. And, you know, the whole thing with the haggis, blah, blah, blah. I've got to keep this on the DL. These are for American footballs, and you know how big that is there. We got a couple of teams that are playing over there. I've got to get them in.
You want to put sheep's bladders in footballs? Yeah, well, we can handle that shipment for you.
Okay. So what I need from you is, when they come in, they get docked. They can't go through customs. You with me?
Not a problem.
All right, good. So what we got to do is we need to put this somewhere where, shall we say, isn't going to be seen by the regular people. We need this on the DL. So,
I know just the place for them, sir.
all right, good. So what we need, though, is I got a couple guys that will come by. They're going to look at it. They're going to approve it, blah, blah, blah. But it's pretty big, okay? I've got containers of this crap, okay? So, is this something you can handle, or do I need to move on to someone else?
We can totally handle that. Multiple containers is not a problem.
Okay, what kind of money are we talking about?
Well, sir, you're in luck. We're having a special this week for multiple container storage of discarded animal parts that are to be used in sporting goods. And for 10,000, we'll take care of that right away.
Okay, is that in pesos or what?
No, sir, that is in Her Majesty's finest pounds sterling.
Yeah, well, see, that's a little rich, right? I mean, we're talking about bladders. It's very important. When do you need it?
Cash on collection, sir.
I don't know. We've got to cut. Really? 10 grand? You throw me a bone. Help me here, right?
Well, sir, the risk is all at our end.
No. I'm the one that's on the bill of lading. Come on. Throw me a bone. 75.
I'm sorry, sir, the price isn't negotiable.
85.
I'm sorry, sir, but perhaps non-negotiable means something else on your side of the Atlantic. Look, we can do a special for you where I will ensure total security of your product and there will be no interference from customs whatsoever. But our price is fixed. It's £10,000, no more, no less.
Okay, you got it. And it's on the DL.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Very good. I'll send you the pertinent information later.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
So if you've been paying attention, you'll have noticed that we take a somewhat cavalier attitude at this stage with regard to where we're putting containers that we're unloading. And frankly, that's because I'm just too bone idle to move these containers away from the side of the railway and put them in the transshipment area, which, frankly, for my money, feels like extra work that I'm doing for no real reward. So you stack them up too high and you knock them over, or in this case, these 3 containers of Bladders that we're now looking after for an American who refused to accept the first price, they need to be moved because I've just stuck them down casually on the side of the train track, and I'm going to go and need to get my little truck and put them somewhere slightly more practical, which is a bit of a drag. And then, of course, the one thing you really want to remember is that if you've got to come and pick all this stuff up, get the big crane out of the way first. The numbers of times you'll drive up in your loader only to find you blocking the containers you wanted to move.
Failure to subscribe may lead to you missing out on bad accents, dubious items of cargo, questions of security, Kermit the Frog, and an entire Bolivian panpipe orchestra. Subscribe now. It's guaranteed.